Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Courtney. If you're returning, thank you so much for your support. Happy to have you back. Quick shout out to those of you guys over on Patreon. Thank you all so much for your support. And I also want to recognize those of you who are watching who are affiliated with the military. Thank you so much for your service. By the title, you see I will be reacting to Star Trek, the original series, episodes 11, 12, and 13. All right, we are getting this thing rolling. We are going to continue down this journey. And I am looking forward to y'all's opinion, on my opinion, of these episodes. So let's just get straight into it. Our awesome trio.
We received a subspace message asking us to divert here immediately.
Space sent no message, Captain.
Mr. Spock received a transmission. A message from the former commander of the Enterprise fleet, Captain Pike.
I'm simply telling you it's impossible.
Why?
You actually don't know what's happened to Captain Pike?
Oh, he's passed?
He's upstairs in the medical section.
Oh, he's here.
You ever met Chris Pike?
We met when he was promoted to fleet captain. Spock served with him for several years.
11 years, 4 months, 5 days. Inspection tour of a cadet vessel. One of the baffle plates ruptured. He went in, bringing out all those kids that were still alive.
He's in a coma?
Captain Pike?
Oh my gosh. Oh, poor thing.
You'll remember these gentlemen. They wanted to visit you. 2 flashes mean no.
That is so sad.
If there's anything I can do for you.
May I remain for a moment?
That was a yes. I mean, they did serve together for so long.
It's only 6 days away at maximum warp, and I have it well planned. I know it is treachery and it's mutiny.
What is he doing? Spock committing treachery?
I have no choice.
And mutiny?
Spock stated he received a message for us to come here.
No message sent from here.
Then I suggest the record tapes have been deliberately changed.
And that same first officer seems to be the only one who heard that message.
He's got a good point, though.
Who would want to divert us here?
Is there any way at all a message could have been sent from here without us knowing it?
Negative, Commodore. We've checked and double-checked everything possible.
I figured. They're probably just as confused. Oh, look. He's probably gonna tamper with it to make it seem like a message did go out. I'm surprised they wouldn't think to keep an eye on Mr. Spock if they were suspecting stuff. Pinch him. Wouldn't be a Star Trek episode without Spock pinching somebody.
I'm afraid our investigation turned out very little, Commodore.
A Vulcan can no sooner be disloyal than he can exist without breathing.
His wheelchair is constructed to respond to his brain waves.
I figured, yeah.
His mind is as active as yours and mine, but it's trapped inside a useless vegetating body.
There's no way he could even have asked for that message to be sent.
Stand by to receive new orders, Enterprise.
I see Miss Ma'am in the corner.
Data be fed directly into the ship's computers. This is top secret and scrambled.
They're looking like, what in the world's going on?
Enterprise to Starbase. Request confirmation.
Who gave you clearance? I haven't been notified.
Pinch him again. Or pinch him. Sorry.
Who takes these?
Orders received. We need operating confirmation from the ship's captain.
This is Captain Kirk. You have confirmation, Miss Uhura.
How can I handle the helm if I don't know where we're going?
Mr. Spock is with me here. He'll answer all questions. Kirk out.
So that's how they do it.
This is Mr. Spock.
Ship's computers will handle the helm on this voyage, Mr. Hansen.
You will not discuss this with ship's crew or starbase personnel.
Acknowledged, sir.
We'll warp out of orbit in 1 hour.
Well, whatever mission this is, he is determined. Now, will those people he knocked out wake up in less than an hour?
Keeps blinking no. No to what? How long will he live?
As long as any of us. Blast medicine, anyway. The brain is what life is all about. Now, that man can think any thought that we can.
Yeah.
But he can't reach out, and no one can reach in. They could question him for days, weeks, before they stumble on the right thing.
Yeah, because they wouldn't know where to start.
Could this have anything to do with Spock?
Probably. I mean, yeah, yes.
Either someone sent a message diverting us here, or someone on board the ship lied about receiving it.
The simple fact that he's a Vulcan means he's incapable of telling a lie. also half
Well, yeah, that part.
He would not make a false entry.
There's a false entry in the log right now.
You're needed aboard the Enterprise, Doctor. Medical emergency.
Well, what is it?
Dang.
I'll beam up and let you know, Jim.
For eyes of Starfleet Command only.
I'm certifying I ordered you to read it.
No vessel, under any condition, emergency or otherwise, is to visit Talos 4.
To do so is the only death penalty left on our books.
Christopher Pike.
The Enterprise.
Yeah. The Enterprise. I know that this has stuff from the Cage in it. Interested to see how all that ties in.
Commodore! Captain Pike, he's gone.
Oh, wow.
Starship Enterprise, Commodore. It's warping out of orbit. Refuses to acknowledge our signal.
Oh, he left Captain Kirk behind.
Out of orbit, Mr. Spock.
Someone's trying to hail us, sir.
Maintain radio silence, Lieutenant.
They're all like, this is not Protocol.
I've been placed in temporary command of the Enterprise.
You have hijacked the Enterprise, my dear.
Starbase Command has assigned Captain Kirk medical rest leave.
Dr. McCoy's like, what?
And this call about me being needed aboard the ship, I've checked everywhere.
Will you come with me, please?
So are you finally going to tell him what's going on?
You are not to disturb Captain Pike with any questions. Simply take good care of him.
Spock is really intelligent. I mean, I feel bad that a man that can't speak for himself is being treated like this.
Sir, scanners report an object following us, about the size of a Starbase shuttlecraft.
We'll make no contact.
I'm already invested in Star Trek, but I am very invested in what in the world is going on. Yeah, that thing moving kind of slow. Is Captain Kirk in there? Let's see, who's in it? Yep.
Enterprise, Commodore Mendez and Captain Kirk. Beating it on all emergency frequencies, Jim. Fuel is down to 63.3.
Will y'all make it?
Now we've just got barely enough to get us back to the base.
Enterprise, come in.
How long before shuttlecraft's fuel supply forces return to Starbase?
Shuttlecraft is already past point of safe return.
These computers are real advanced. Oh, so they just can't turn back to begin with. So what y'all gonna do?
We coast.
So that's what y'all do.
2 hours of oxygen left.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, this is a problem. Here I am being optimistic.
He's dead. If he makes it to Talos 4, why would he want to get Pike there?
He has his reasons. We just don't know what those are yet.
I keep wondering who might be after us in a shuttlecraft. Lock on to shuttlecraft following us. Is it the captain, Mr. Spock?
Because if it is, that tape you played for me was a complete lie.
Security, send an armed team to the bridge. Transporter room, stand by to beam Captain Kirk aboard. I present myself to you for arrest. What? The charge is mutiny, Doctor. I never received orders to take command. Mr. Spock is under arrest. Is confinement to quarters enough? Adequate, Doctor.
I guess he didn't account for the fact that Captain Kirk would follow them.
Transferring command to you, sir.
Accepting command. And where's Mr. Spock?
His quarters. After what he's done, Lieutenant?
Mr. Spock has the computers running the ship.
Disengage computer control over her.
We can't disengage, Captain.
Computer control, come in. Disengage from helm.
Unable to comply.
Disengage from helm.
Negative.
Unable to comply. Cannot be disengaged until vessel reaches planet Talos 4.
A preliminary hearing on Lieutenant Commander Spock is being convened. This is the most painful moment I've ever faced.
I can imagine.
Sir, I waive counsel and request immediate court-martial.
Request denied. Requires a trial board of no less than 3 command officers.
Sir, I must point out that there are 3 officers of command rank available, and Captain Christopher Pike.
Denied.
I believe you'll find he's still on the active duty list.
We didn't have the heart to retire him, Jim. Whatever he's up to, he's planned it well.
Extremely well. But then again, Captain Pike didn't want you doing this to begin with, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Are you aware in pleading guilty that a further charge involving the death penalty must be held against you?
I am.
I want to know why.
Are your comments a part of the record, sir? Request monitor screen be engaged to comply with the request you just made, sir.
By asking him why, you've opened the door to any evidence he may wish to present. Apparently what he had in mind.
Present your evidence.
You guys are just walking into everything he wants to happen.
This is 13 years ago. The Enterprise and its commander, Captain Christopher Pike.
I remember this.
Screen off. Was that really you on the screen? That's impossible.
How's that impossible?
No vessel makes record tapes in that detail, that perfect. What were we watching?
I cannot tell you at this time, sir.
Oh, I see.
Your evidence is out of order.
I am forced to contest that, Commodore. I want to see more.
Very well. Continue.
The meteorite beam is not deflected, Captain.
Evasive maneuvers, sir.
Steady as we go.
I see what y'all meant by they used footage literally from the cage.
SS Columbia disappeared in that region approximately 18 years ago.
I actually liked the female lieutenant in this. I can't remember if I mentioned that before, but I liked her. Yeah, right here.
Boys here.
Drop by my cabin, Doctor.
Wait, are they able to see this too? I guess so.
I understand we picked up a distress signal. Who wants a warm martini? Man will tell his bartender things he'll never tell his doctor.
I still think that's a really good line.
I'm tired of being responsible for 203 lives. Oh, I've had it, Phil. To the point of considering resigning. Nice little town with 50 miles of parkland around it.
Point is that this isn't the only life available.
Mr. Spock here. There are crash survivors on Talos.
When do we shoot back to the present? Like, how much of this are they about to see?
Gravity and oxygen within limits, but unless. The message faded at that point, sir.
Our destination is the Talos Star Group.
Course computed and on the screen.
Screen off. I congratulate you on your imagination.
No, that's the truth.
Are we seeing the actual events of 13 years ago? If after witnessing this, the court wishes to turn this vessel back, I will release this ship to manual control.
This man mutinied, stole your ship, abducted Captain Pike.
I vote to continue.
Then I vote we do not. Deadlock. And
Not
since
a
I'm...
deadlock.
Captain Pike?
Do we continue under these conditions?
Yes.
TOS. We've settled into orbit, sir.
Our reading shows an oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere, sir.
Equip a landing party of 6.
Here we go again. I'm just kidding. I know for them this is present day. I remember when I saw this, I was just like, I thought the people turned into the plants.
They're humans.
It's all an illusion. Hey girl, hey. I know what you really look like. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. I know that the people on the Enterprise are viewing Captain Pike, but are they able to see this right here with them? Or do they not see them technically until Captain Pike sees them?
Survivors and our effects up to you very shortly.
She looking him up and down like this is the prime specimen.
Prime specimen.
I forgot she said that. Oh, this is funny. Just watching this, knowing what I know, and you're just like,
Don't you see it? You're a perfect choice.
When she said, don't you see it, and then all this happens, it's like, illusion. Okay, so at this point, the Enterprise has probably seen them. Oh, y'all blasted through. Y'all just can't see it.
There is no survivors encampment, number 1. This is all some sort of trap. We've lost the captain.
As he's sitting there watching.
Enterprise receiving transmissions from planet Talos 4.
Receiving transmissions from Talos 4.
Did y'all not see the people or the aliens?
Kirk is hereby relieved.
Mr. Spock, you're aware of the orders regarding any contact with Talos 4. You've not only finished yourself, Spock, but you finished your captain as well. And you're aware that a captain is responsible for everything that occurs on his ship.
This is, yeah. I mean, I don't understand what Spock's doing, but I get the concern.
Do you know what you're doing?
Don't let him stop me. It's your career and Captain Pike's life. You must see the rest of the transmission.
Lock him up.
I know that was hard for him to say. To be concluded next week. No, to be concluded in a couple of minutes. Alright guys, that was the Menagerie Part 1. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, only because we got to hop into Part 2. But I will say, I was trying to figure out exactly how they were going to work in the cage with this episode, and obviously the next one. Makes sense. It makes sense. It's simple, but the way that it's done, I really like it. It's like, you know, we're watching the past happen as it occurred right in front of us. I can't figure out what Spock is up to. I am stunned that Captain Pike is in this because I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm just sitting here like, what the heck is he doing here? Like, okay, what happened to him? And now we're heading back to this planet, that death penalty. It's like, what in the world is going on? So I'm just going to hop straight back into it, and we're going to get going with the Menagerie Part 2. Very, very interested to see how this is going to end.
How do you plead to the charge of unlawfully taking command of this starship?
Guilty.
And of forcibly attempting to transport Captain Pike to that planet?
Guilty.
Starfleet has ordered no contact with Talos 4.
You have no choice, sir. I'm sorry. The Keeper has taken over control of our screen.
Captain Pike had been knocked unconscious and captured by the Telosians.
If Captain Pike could speak, he'd probably be like, don't send me down this memory lane again. It was already traumatic the first time.
The intelligence of the specimen is shockingly limited.
You're not speaking yet, I can hear you.
The creature will throw himself against the transparency.
There's a way out of any cage, and I'll find it.
So we just thought we saw survivors there.
It was a perfect illusion.
It's Captain Pike they've got. He needs help.
We'll try blasting through that metal.
Y'all already blasted through it, technically. Okay, now we're back to the present.
He was still inside his cell, but knowing that couldn't help him and could make him live any place, any time.
The one the survivors call Vina.
If you attack while it's not looking.
But it's only a dream.
See, he didn't want to play their little game. It's like, I've seen this, but I don't want to, like, talk too much still. But I'm sure there's a purpose of Mr. Spock wanting them to see everything. I wonder if they're going to show all the illusions that he went through, or just focus on this one. She's like, oh, my dream man. Them walking away still gets me every time. Oh, is he asleep?
They know that Captain Pike is fatigued. We can reconvene later. They want him back, alive, sir.
They want him back? Okay, my gears are turning. I'm trying to figure out what this could all mean. Oh, crap, the flashing lights. Yep, there they go.
The top of that knoll should have been sheared off the first second.
Oh, it was.
They can punish you when you're not cooperative. You'll find out about that.
I'm trying to see if there's a clue in the old dialogue as to why they would need him back.
Living and reliving other lives. left behind in the thought record. They have a whole collection of specimens.
Which means they had to have more than one of each animal. They'll need a pair of humans, too. Where do they intend to get the Earth Woman?
But then again, this was so long ago, so could they have changed their mind about humans?
We're like Adam and Eve.
I've got to stop laughing every time they turn around and walk away. It's just funny.
Then you were captured as breeding stock.
There you go, you're catching on.
Is the keeper actually communicating with one of his animals?
Unpleasant alternative of punishment.
This is something I meant to mention in the cage. This right here reminds me of when Odysseus went into the underworld in the Odyssey. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that, but I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of that.
You do have limitations, don't you?
Again, if they're such intelligent beings that decide they didn't need humans anymore and they can live such a long life, why would they want him back?
You were startled. Weren't you reading my mind then? You seem to be going out of your way to make her attractive, to make me feel protective.
There was so much foreshadowing in that line, making her attractive, because as we've seen, she was injured.
Why would you want me attracted to her? Only if you intend to build a family group, or perhaps a whole human community.
First, an emotion of protectiveness. Now, one of sympathy. Excellent.
I'm having too much fun with this episode. So we really are going through all this again on top of what's going on in the present in a 50-minute episode.
You're home. You can even stay if you want.
We're in a menagerie, a cage.
I see what they did there. It was called the cage, and he says this line about it being a menagerie. I see what they did.
Back in my cage, it seemed for a couple of minutes that our keeper couldn't read my thoughts.
They can't read through primitive emotions. My dreams of what would be a perfect man.
I was just about to say something about that. I can't remember if I said this when I watched The Cage or not, but why wouldn't they just create the perfect man for her to begin with? I think I might have said that. But then again, could she really breed with an illusion? No. I wonder how Captain Pike in the present is watching this going, great. Now they know what I was into. And there they go.
No, let me finish!
They don't work.
They were fully charged when we left.
An illusion, darling.
He doesn't need you. He's already picked me. Now there's a fine choice for intelligent offspring.
Vina needed to pump her brakes right here.
There was a Vina listed on that expedition as an adult crewman.
Each of the two new specimens has qualities in her favor.
You'll find my thoughts more interesting. Thoughts so primitive you can't understand.
Wrong thinking is punishable.
They can't read through hate.
I still haven't figured out why they really need Captain Pike back. I don't know, maybe they're hoping that the human race has devolved and they're not as aggressive.
Are you all still
Don't
up,
hurt
Rick?
them. They don't mean to be evil.
I'm gonna gamble you're too intelligent to kill for no reason at all. I think it just blasted a hole in that window and you're keeping us from seeing it.
With a swiftness. It's like you're intelligent, but you're also not dumb. In terms of social interactions.
It seems the Telosians have deserted you.
Gentlemen, a moment, please.
Oh, they completely shut all of that off. Okay, no wonder he looks so confused.
Signal you want them to wait. At least a chance for life.
Wait a minute, he's sending him back there so they can help him get better? Or is he trying to send him back so that he can
Guilty, yes or no,
live
Captain?
an illusion life?
I must also vote guilty as charged.
But then again, Captain Pike kept saying no, he didn't want to do this.
Guilty as charged.
Sir, we're entering orbit Talos 4.
Talos controls the vessel now, sir. You've asked me why. You'll see the answer now.
So, the end of the episode where they created another Captain Pike, she got to live her happily ever after and they chose to leave humans alone?
We cut through and never knew it.
With the female of your choice, you will now begin carefully guided lives.
It's wrong to create a whole race of humans to live as slaves.
The weapon is building up an overload, a forced chamber explosion.
How I forgot that that part happened, I don't know.
History of your race show a unique hatred of captivity.
Again, yeah.
You were our last hope.
Can't go with you.
And we get the lovely ladies back one by one. This is my only last thing No, that doesn't make any sense. No, again, that doesn't make any sense. The Captain Pike that we're seeing on the Enterprise right now, that is him, right? Yeah, it has to be. Not me thinking they did some weird switcheroo.
You see why I can't go with you.
Yeah, we see, Pumpkin.
They found me in the wreckage. They had no guide for putting me back together.
That just still upsets me. Poor thing didn't deserve any of that.
All deck show ready, sir.
Engage!
Okay, can we finally get an answer?
Commodore, don't you think that...
What? I'm so baffled.
The Commodore was never aboard your vessel. His presence there and in the shuttlecraft was an illusion. Captain Pike is welcome to spend the rest of his life with us, unfettered by his physical body.
That actually makes me happy. So I got there, I figured it out eventually.
You could have come to me and explained.
Ask you to face the death penalty, too.
Message from Starbase 11, sir. General Order 7 prohibiting contact Talos 4 is suspended this occasion. No action contemplated against Spock.
Well, ask him what he wants.
Chris, do you want to go there?
Mr. Spock, do you care to take Captain Pike to the transporter room?
See him off?
Thank you, sir.
Tendency you've been showing lately towards flagrant emotionalism.
I see no reason to insult me, sir. I've been completely logical about the whole affair.
Captain Kirk?
I'm gonna say, wait, those are images from the first time it happened, but I guess that gives them a sense of, I don't know, understanding.
Captain Pike has an illusion, and you have reality. May you find your way as pleasant.
I like the way they did that. Alright guys, that was the Menagerie Part 2, and I got there eventually. Only because the phrase, chance at life came about, and I'm like, so wait, are y'all sending him there so that he can live out the rest of his life in like an illusion, no longer bound? That makes perfect sense. I'm not even mad about it, but it's just the whole irony of it that in the Cage pilot, he wanted to get out of there. He was done. He was like, we ain't doing this mess anymore. Nope, I'm angry, I'm agitated, I'm over it. Get me off this planet. And then this accident happens and he's just bound to this device where he can't even speak. He can't move. He can't do anything for himself. And then Mr. Spock made the decision, we're taking him back and he's going to live out the rest of his life. And I'm sure, hope this does not happen in the series, but if something like that were to happen to Captain Kirk, I'm sure he would have done the same thing. You know, out of that loyalty. I mean, they've been doing this for so long together. I really liked this. So what did you guys think when you guys saw the Menagerie Part 1 and Part 2? Did you find it, because honestly, when you guys told me that there were parts of the there were parts of the cage that were used in this, I'm thinking, okay, a few clips here and there. I'm not thinking we're about to literally see the whole episode of the cage in Part 1 and Part 2. That's not where I thought that this was going. But I understand why. Captain Kirk had to get, he had to understand what was going on. The Commodore Mendez wasn't even there. Like, he was completely like, the fact that they were able to create the illusion of him being on the spacecraft with Kirk, like, and then being there in that room that whole entire time, I didn't catch on to that at all. That was done extremely well.
Hey friends, so I feel like I do this a couple different times in different videos where I have to kind of pop back on and talk about something very quickly. What I said at this part of my reaction and my thoughts, I actually got it wrong. And I realized I did on my own while I was going back and editing. So on my Patreon, folks were reminding me that technically you guys never saw the Cage pilot until like 1986. So for you guys, this was just a regular Star Trek episode, like both of them that you guys were watching. So what I was saying in my original comments was, because I'm still viewing it from the mindset of me thinking that everyone saw the Cage first. No. because I was asking the question, so is Venus still like alive? Like, did she? No. The way that they set it up, that last image of Kirk seeing Vina with Captain Pike from the cage pilot was the confirmation that the illusion worked and Captain Pike is now, he's okay. Totally understand that. And that he and, Vina, they've gone off to do their, I see what they did there with like the cage pilot and tying it in for this episode of the Menagerie Part 2. So, like, stuff starts to click as I edit sometimes. We're just going to get straight back into whatever else I was talking about.
I thought this was done very, very well. So we are going to move on to the conscience of the king, and we will see what that is about. So we're starting out with murder. Medieval murder. Oh, they're watching a movie. Okay. I'm thinking we've gone back to a whole nother time period.
Is King Duncan dead?
Given all that blood. But then again, people have attempted to do this and completely miss all vital organs.
Man on the stage.
The voice, the man on the stage.
The executioner.
So somebody someone who should be behind bars?
Discovery by Dr. Thomas Slayton, extraordinary new synthetic food, totally end the threat of famine.
Well, that would be helpful.
You've called me 3 light years off my to accuse an actor of being CODIS. You said you discovered a new food concentrate. That you lied, that you diverted a starship with false information.
Oh, it's a lie. Well, dang.
I did it to trap Kodos.
CODIS is dead.
Is he?
Faked his own death?
A body burned beyond recognition. 4,000 people were butchered.
He's been like this since the company of actors arrived.
I remember him.
But other than his voice, yeah, what proof do you have?
Bloody thing he did.
Oh.
There were only 8 or 9 of us who actually saw Kodos. I was one, you're another. I invited the entire company to a cocktail party.
Oh, boy.
I have to be sure.
But still, shouldn't he investigate?
Former Governor CODIS of Tarsus IV, also known as CODIS the Executioner. Background on actor Anton Caridian.
Okay, so he's investigating.
Slaughtered 50% of population Earth colony that planet.
Wow.
Burned body found when Earth forces arrived. No positive identification.
So they couldn't even identify him. What about dental records?
Director and star of traveling company of actors touring official installations last 9 years. Has daughter Lenore, 19 years old.
Give information on actor Caridian prior to CODIS' death.
Nothing.
No information available.
Mm-hmm.
Photograph CODIS.
No, looking like the guy.
Photograph Caridian.
Ah, plastic surgery.
Now photograph both.
I'm beaming back down to the planet again.
Where's Tom?
He went to town. He's on his way back.
The others are on the patio.
I take it you're the welcoming committee. My father will be delighted, mister.
Oh, is she the daughter?
I had hoped to meet your father here tonight, personally.
He never sees anyone personally. Caridian is a most unusual man. He's my father. We played 2 performances at Benicia.
You were very impressive as Lady Macbeth.
Thank you. And is Lenore Caridian?
I'd like to see you again.
You mean professionally?
Not necessarily.
Oh, is he about to do this to fish for information?
I'll meet you outside.
Not a ship's captain with all those people to be strong and confident in front of. Oh, you're really very dear, aren't you?
Who do we have here? Oh.
It's Tom Layton.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Please stay out of space now. Oh, why was Tom killed?
Do you tell anybody else these theories?
Don't make your pickup here.
You mean strand all those actors?
I'll pick them up. Just keep this between the 2 of us. And accept my thanks. Over and out.
Did the daughter do something to Tom? And she's just playing dumb? Or did her dad kind of swoop in and take care of the job?
I think we're due for a pickup.
A Miss Caridian has been transported aboard ship.
Tell her to come up to the bridge.
Now that is an interesting getup she has on.
We've been stranded. It seems that our transportation is canceled out on us. If ever we needed a good Samaritan.
Yeah, he planned all this.
Special performance for the crew. In exchange for a lift.
The men would never forgive me if I deprived them of your performance and your presence.
I'll get the company ready.
Prepare to leave orbit as soon as the Caridian company is aboard the ship.
Hey, yeoman.
Menagerie colony is 8 light years off our course.
My memory needs refreshing, Mr. Spock. I'll ask you for it.
There are 9 actual eyewitnesses can identify Kodos, Kirk, J, presently Enterprise Captain Riley, K.
Star Service Lieutenant Kevin Riley?
Affirmative.
Lieutenant Kevin Riley. I wish to have him transferred down to the engineering decks. I don't wish to discuss it, Mr. Spock. Please follow my orders.
Captain is acting strangely.
You ever a drink, Mr. Spock?
My father's race was spared the dubious benefits of alcohol.
Now I know why they were conquered.
It was illogical for him to bring those players aboard.
Did you get a look at that little Juliet? That's a pretty exciting creature.
Did you know that he suddenly transferred Lieutenant Riley to engineering?
Now, he's the captain. He can transfer people as he pleases.
Did you order the soft lights especially for the occasion?
I'd also have arranged for music, flowers.
Oh, he's that kind of a romantic.
I'd rather talk about you. You must have wanted to perform since the first time you saw your father act. When was that?
In the beginning. You haven't answered my question about the women.
Worlds may change, galaxies disintegrate, but a woman always remains a woman.
I need to start keeping up with how many people this man kisses.
Full personal dossiers on the following names: Dr. Thomas Layton, Anton Caridian, Lieutenant Kevin Riley, and Captain James T. Kirk. Check their past histories. Any item, any past episode or experience they all have in common. There were over 8,000 colonists and virtually no food. Kodos began to separate the colonists. The remainder would be immediately put to death.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, he had his own theories of eugenics. Over 4,000 people. They died quickly. And Kodos, there never was a positive identification of his body.
Right.
But what is Caridian to do with it?
His history begins almost to the day where Kodos disappeared. There were 9 eyewitnesses who survived the massacre, with the exception of Riley and Captain Kirk. Every other eyewitness is dead. The Caridian company of players was somewhere near when they died.
Ooh. Good job, Mr. Spock.
Hey, rec room, somebody. Talk to me.
What can I do for you, Riley?
A song.
Yeah, Riley does love singing.
Where my heart is.
Oh, here we go with the mess. Are we about to lose Riley? So he just poisoned him. Riley, please don't. Turn it. I wonder how fast that's gonna kick in.
How'd you like that, Riley?
Help me, please.
Did they hear that? Okay, he's still breathing. Good.
If he dies, the only one who'll be able to identify Kodos is the captain.
My report on Lieutenant Riley.
Will he make it?
He's got a good chance.
Lieutenant Riley was a witness. So were you. It's my personal business when it might interfere with the smooth operation of this ship.
It's his job, and you know it.
Yeah, Captain Kirk, you need to sit down.
Almost certainly an attempt will be made to kill you.
From here on, I've got to determine whether or not Caridian is Kodos. Logic is not enough. I've got to feel my way. Make absolutely sure.
That won't bring back the dead, Jim.
But they may rest easier.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I have an idea that may prove... A phaser.
On overload.
Uh-oh. Doesn't that mean it'll blow up?
There's a phaser on overload, Mike. If it blows, it'll take out the entire deck. Double red alert.
I mean, I'm sure he's gonna find it. But still. There it is. Did he get out fast enough? You got all the proof you need now, Captain Kirk?
We're overdue for our talk, aren't we? A moment ago, we narrowly averted an explosion. All that, someone tried to poison one of my crewmen.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you Kodos?
Like he's just gonna come out with it.
Do you believe that I am?
I do.
Then I am Kodos, if it pleases you to believe so.
Playing mind games.
What were you 20 years ago?
Younger, Captain.
Weren't we all?
Read this into that communicator on the wall, and compare it to a piece of Kodos voice film we have in our files. Ready for voice test.
Get to it.
The revolution is successful. To the more valued members of the colony, your execution is so ordered, signed, Kodos.
He stopped looking at it.
You said them like you knew them.
Mm-hmm.
I learned my parts very quickly. Kodos, whoever he was...
Or is.
Kodos made a decision of life and death. Some had to die that others might live.
4,000 people were needlessly butchered.
In order to save 4,000 others.
But how does he know all that?
So sure that I'm Kodos. Why not kill me now? Longer treasure life, not even my own. I am tired.
The acting is strong in this one.
If I had gotten everything I wanted, you might not walk out of this room alive.
Oh, she heard everything?
There's a stain of cruelty on your shining armor, Captain. You talked of using tools. I was a tool, wasn't I? Tool to use against my father.
I mean...
You were like your ship, powerful and not human.
He is Kodos, and I've shown him more mercy than he deserves.
Medical log.
Oh, Riley's up.
He is suspected of being Kodos, the executioner, and of murdering the lieutenant's family.
Ooh. Yeah, he overheard everything, friend. Is that a lie detector test?
I believe we have a match, Captain.
Oh, wow. The voice thing. It's not an exact match.
No machine can make that decision.
Riley, don't forget to... I was recording my log about Caridian and Kodos. If he overheard...
The weapons locker has been broken into.
Ew.
One phaser is missing.
Get back to the sick bay.
Oh, Riley's the one who's about to take him out.
My mother.
Don't throw away your life on a mistake.
I'm not wrong. I know that voice.
Now get back to the sick bay. Go on.
I'm glad he stopped him.
There was a voice out of the past, haunting me. It's another part I once played. Long ago, I never told you about it.
After my performance, the last two who can harm you will be gone.
So she knew this whole time.
What are you saying?
There were 9. Now there are only 2.
She's the one that poisoned Riley?
What have you done?
So she's the one who's been doing this. Wow.
All 7? More blood on my hand!
All the ghosts are dead. I've buried them.
And here I am thinking Captain Kirk's getting close to her, but she was getting close to him.
You've left me nothing!
So he does have remorse for what happened.
You were the one thing in my life untouched by what I'd done.
No one can touch you. Not even Captain Kirk is awed by your greatness, your shining brightness. Bright as a blade before it is stained with blood.
Come with me. Both of you.
After the play?
No, the play's
Play is
over.
I never wanted the blood on my hands ever to stain you.
I've saved you.
By killing 7 innocent men.
They were dangerous.
Curtain going up. 1 minute.
Play's over.
You cannot deny him his last performance.
Here we go. Is she gonna accidentally kill her dad?
Become a floating tomb. The soul of the great Caridian giving performance.
Yeah, she's lost it.
Beware the Ides of March.
No, child, no!
Don't go hollering now. Was it on kill or stun?
Proud death.
He's gone.
The curtain. The curtain rises. It rises.
Well, looks
no
like this is your last performance, my dear.
Now plays the thing. It will catch the conscience of the king.
Well, there goes the title of the episode.
Medical report. She'll receive the best of care, Jim. She remembers nothing.
What they do, hypnosis?
You really cared for her, didn't you? You're not going to answer my question, are you?
Ahead warp factor 1, Mr. Leslie.
That's an answer.
All right, that was the conscience of the king. I only have like a few thoughts about this. I'm glad Captain Kirk finally got it together and kind of took this a little bit more seriously. Tom, he knew. He could tell by the voice. Riley could tell by the voice at the end. I'm glad we didn't lose Riley. And it's really, I believe that it made a lot of sense that the daughter was involved, because I kept thinking to myself, like, she has to know who her dad really is. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some parents out there. Well, how often do we run into this type of a scenario, really? But I was thinking to myself, maybe he one day told her the truth, and all these people, 7 out of the 9 were taken out, and fortunately we still have Riley and of course Captain Kirk. But her breakdown there at the end, I think she performed that very, very well. Really gave the sense of like desperation and just like showing like the mental illness side of things, and I thought that was very well done. So they did it very, very well where it's him. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking. I'm trying to hurry this up. But yeah, so we realized it was him, and the daughter is the one that did it. And so did they do like a hypnosis on her at the end? You guys let me know that. So overall, I thought these were all really good episodes, and I will see you guys next Sunday for more Star Trek and anything else that I have going on. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know whenever I upload. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.